G'day everybody and welcome back. What I have to do here is make a new one of these cylinder flanges. It's the old type sort of cylinder that has the 4 tie rods that hold each end together. This one's had a bit of a failure. The top's smashed off it. The fella had put new packing in it or tightened it up. The next morning he's jumped out on the tractor and gone to put the bucket down, and it's popped the top off, broke the casting. What he's decided to do, he's asked me to do, which I was sort of a bit dubious about filming because I've never done this before, is I've got to redesign it to get away from using these, or this type of setup, to use modern seals like a pressure seal. It's going to have a bronze bush in it and like a wiper seal on the top. So having not done one of these before, I was a bit dubious about filming, but you know, may as well. So there's a bit involved in it, but I'll grab the seals and show you what I've got to put in it. So what we have is a big O-ring that goes in underneath into that. The bottom stays the same. On the new one there will be a bronze bush I've got to machine up to fit in there that the rod works on. Instead of having the packing on the nut, which you'll see this nut has like a V in it, it's going to have a modern pressure seal and a wiper seal on the top. So the bottom still stay the same, the dimensions all stay the same. I've just got to I had to try and work out and put all this into one, in the same dimension of the outside of everything. That's a wild way of explaining it, but yeah. So I've spent a bit of time drawing it up, working out all the measurements. This is sort of 1-to-1 in a fashion. Like I could have jumped on the computer and done all on Fusion, but I couldn't work it out in my head how to do it until, or how to picture it all in there until I'd sort of drew it out, which I was advised to do off a good mate of mine. He said, get a piece of paper and draw it on a piece of paper first, sort of to scale, and you'll understand it much better. So thanks mate, it did work. Anyway, this is what we're going to build. Hopefully I can pull it off and get it all correct in one go, because finding a piece of material this big for this wasn't easy, so especially around here. What I have done, I've got the piece of material, I've brought it to size on the square, which is 125, and I've brought it, it's still, what is it, I think it's 1.5 mm over length still. But it's all cleaned up, it's all square, and I've just got to work out where I'm going to start, whether I start by removing all this section, do all the heavy machining first on the outside, and then start on the internals. Wish me luck on this one. There'll be plenty of experts out there that telling me I'm doing it wrong, but this is the way I'm going to do it. Okay, so this is a lump of material. I'm not too sure what grade it is. It was about 2 mm over dimension it was a big square piece, so it was just a matter of putting it in the mill, and I fly cut each side till I got down 125 square. The ends were pretty crooked, so I used an indicator and indicated the sides in to make sure the sides were square, and then faced off, turned it around and faced off the other side as well. So that's where I'm up to, and it's about 1 mm or 1.5 mm over length still. But what I plan to do now is, for a length of 32 mm, bring it down to round, and that will be 86, diameter of 86 mm, 32 mm long. So that's going to take a bit of doing, a bit of machining to get that down. It's not going to be a 5-second job. what I've done, I've just put a center in there, and I printed this box for the Daintree Life Center and just lined it with a bit of soft felt stuff. So I decided I might run a center because it's interrupted cut's fairly heavy. It just might make it a bit more rigid. It'd be interesting to see if that does make a difference. We're going to find out, I suppose. It's a bit quieter. As you can see, it's going to take a while, so need a bigger lathe. Okay, so this has to end up coming down to 86mm. It's at 123 now. Just want to put a nice big radius in that corner as I get down closer. So I can quite happily take it down to 100mm before I've got to start worrying about that radius. Easy 100mm, and I've still got half a mil left to clean up these four faces. Anyway, we'll just keep gnawing away at it. I've got to be careful. I can't put too big a radius in there because when the bolts come through, when you look at the old one, it's sort of, it'll interfere a little bit. This is a Pelpit button tool. We'll see how that goes getting into this corner. I'll make it instead of doing it by eye. Yep, leave it at that. That looks a bit neater. So that dimension, that 86mm, is not a crucial measurement. It's just the OD of the main bore. So 86 is what the other one measured, even though it is a casting. Averages out at 86. These edges here will get rounded off because I'm going to end up holding it by this diameter in the chuck. To do the bore for the bronze bush, so I'll gently round these corners off when it's flipped around, but I'll chamfer this corner and then I'll start putting the centre bores in. That's a beautiful live center. Made a bit of difference actually putting this live center in there. When I was doing that interrupted cut, took the thump out of it, or some of the thump out of it. Okay, the smallest dimension in here, through bore, is 50.7. Going to put this through and then open it up to 1 3/4 inches. Okay, we've got that out to 50.7. I'm going to shorten this bar up now and do this first bore, 6.4 deep, to take the wiper seal. I don't know if you can hear that knocking. I'll just start the lathe and turn it off again. You'll hear it go clunk, clunk, clunk. Just going to try and get this dimension finished and then pull up because the belts decided to separate. I'm at 66.5 and I'm going to be 66.8. So I'll just stuff around off camera and measure that as accurate as I can and then do the final cut. And I've got 0.1 to come off this face, so that belt's only going to hang in for another 10 minutes. Okay, I reckon I'm right on the money there. That will go in with a slight tap. Just got to take 0.1 off that back face. Well, that's it for me tonight. I'll take that belt off, and the shop opens it up R7 in the morning, so I'll go and grab another one. So this is the belt. It's B24. You can see where it's separated here. That's what's giving me the thump, thump, thump. Separate all the way around there. Probably not showing you real well. When it's getting to there, it's going bang, 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 bang. Real bad. Anyway, that belt's not, well, a few years old now, I suppose. Probably 2.5 years, I suppose. Anyway, grab a new one in the morning. Rightio, I've got a new belt on the lathe and it sounds pretty good. So we're back to normal there. What I have done is I've double checked the measurement of this internal bore, touched off with the tool. This is a grooving tool. I've got a grooving tool on there, or in there. This is to put the groove in for the pressure seal, or rod seal. So I've touched off and then set the DRO to that diameter, which was 50.7. This groove has to be 9.8 wide and a diameter of 63.5. Okay, this is going to take a fair bit of time to do. I'm just going to take my time, that's for sure. So once I get this close to depth, then I've got to advance the tool in 6.8mm to open up the gap to 9.8. It's 3mm grooving tool. I've been gnawing away at this groove. The problem I have now, I'm at 62mm. I have to be at 63.5 final dimension. This is the only way I can measure it. The problem I have is the legs on these dividers are clashing with this surface here. So there's a couple options I could do. I could remove some out of this, which ain't going to hurt, and I could use this bar to do it. So I can 100% know that I am getting the right dimension in that groove. Because yeah, like going by the DRO and measuring these, I'm right on the money with 62mm. So probably off camera I'll remove a bit of this, which ain't going to hurt, and then continue on with that bloody groove. That should be 63.5. 6351. So I'm going to stop right there. If I was to say that was enjoyable to do, I'd be telling you crap, because that wasn't enjoyable. I do have to break these edges slightly, and then I'll flip it around, still in the 4-jaw, clock it all back in, and then put the bore in for the bronze bush. Just broke them edges, smoothed them all off with a bit of emery and Scotch Brite and so on. There's no sharp edges at all there. It's good. So I'll get this turned around and all clock back in again, which will take me a bit of time. Probably a bit shaky, but it has got pressure on it. Spot on there. I'll set up another one. Okay, we'll check the face. That's a half thou indicator. It's probably blowing out a bit with that light, but it's within half a thou. Good enough for me. I have 1.6 mil to come off this face. Okay, now I have to put this face in here now, so that's a 3 mil, and then I can put the groove in. I want to put the groove in before I go ahead and put that board, just in case it goes pear-shaped. I reckon I read the plan wrong. Yeah, I did. It's got to be down to 88.7, that diameter. That's okay. At least it's that way and not the other way. Yeah, I'll get that down a bit more and then I'll bring his back. That's 3 mil deep. 88.7. This has to have a recess put in there now for an O-ring, which will be interesting. Okay, to see how I'm going to put that O-ring groove in using the grooving tool. It's got to be 5.5mm wide, and I've just got to double check the depth again, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I've never done one like this before. Okay, measuring the other one, it is 4.3mm deep from this face. Sorry, I just measured that again and it's 4.5mm deep from that face. Okay, we have the depth, but the problem is it's starting to rub on the face of this piece here. What I could do is pack that insert out a fraction somehow and wing it. I don't really want to modify the tool if I can get away with it. It's the last thing I really want it. That insert's busted anyway. No doubt I've blown some of these today, I can tell you. I'm just gonna, instead of pushing it all the way home, I'm gonna stick it out a bit. It'll probably just smash, but it's worth a try. Got nothing to lose, bar an insert. That worked. Thank God for that. That worked. That is awesome. No, I haven't got it to the right width. I've still got another 1/2 mil to go on the width, so screwed up there. That's it, 5.51. So I have the O-ring here, and this is a new O-ring. I've put the O-ring in the old flange, and it seems to fit exactly the same. So I think I got it right. It's a bugger to get out, but a bit of air fixes that. That's exactly the same sort of fit that's in the old one, so. Alright, set the boring bar up now and we'll do that in a bore. This has to be 44.5 mil long, I've decided. and or 44mm long and out to 55mm diameter. Okay, I was just looking at the footage I have so far. This video is probably only going to be getting fairly long. You're not going to miss much of me boring this out, so I'll bring this back when I'm getting close to that being out to dimension. That's that done. I've just got to break that edge too, and break this edge, and then I've got to try and take the sharpness off these, but it doesn't fit it over the cross slot, so I have to wind the compound right forward, set up another tool, just take these edges off gently. Okay, I've wound the compound forward. I can get up to the end up here without it clashing on the cross slide. Just going to round these corners off. Couple more runs and that'll be good enough. Rightio, I didn't bore you with that because I was just throwing crap everywhere. We just took the corners off. Should have really done that with a big radius tool in the mill, but I'll just soften these edges with a file. Soften these edges with a file a bit more. I've got to put the 4-bolt circle pattern in here now. We found centre. Now I've got to put 4 holes in here to take the retaining rods that hold the whole cylinder together, the 2 end caps in the tube. I've worked out it's 120mm PCD, but what I haven't worked out is how to do the DRO to pick it up on these corners. I guess I'm going to put a Sharpie in the quill and keep working it out, keep playing around with the DRO until I get it right. Okay, I've worked it out, worked the DRO out to get this 120mm PCD starting at 45. So all I done was I just put down 0, 90, 180, 270, then I put them in the middle, so 45, 135, 225, 315. That then give me the start angle and the end angle. So obviously it goes around in that direction, so it starts at 45, does that hole, that hole, that hole, and that hole, but I worked it out in the other. Bit confusing, but works in my head. Anyway, you've seen me do one, I'm not going to film doing all the rest. Righto, in with the 2132s, go around the circle again. Okay, I've got to put the oil port in now as well while I'm here, which is a 1/2 inch hole. I'm going to flip it up on its edge, pick up on center again, and then get up to drill that hole. I'm pretty sure it's 1/2 inch BSP. This has to be opened up to 18 mil, 18.25 for the 1/2 inch BSP thread. Closest one Imperial is 42/64 or something. I don't have that. I've got one each side, but I don't have it, so I'm going to have to open it up with 11/16 and then bore it to size. Okay, I've done a pass down there just to clean it up and to get a true reading, and I've got to take 0.4 out, so advance at 0.2. That'll do. I'll slap that one through and go from there. Well, 18.29. Fraction over, but I do have a tap follower, but I actually lent it to Trevor. Trevor was going to make one. I lent it to Trev, and so I've just stuck a just a point in there. Hope that's enough to get it started. I rang a mate. I said, by any chance would you have another 1/2 inch BSP tap? He said, yeah, I think so. He said, when are you coming to get it? I said, oh, about 2 minutes. Well, give me 10. I've got to have time to find it. Yeah, he found it. That's the way that hole turned out. Not too bad. Now there is only one other thing I've got to do. I've just got to countersink these holes here. Good enough. It's going to have washers over it and big nuts, so I'm pretty stoked with that. Okay, I apologise I didn't show much of this turning of the bush. This video is getting fairly long. The inside is 2-dimension and the outside is down to 56.5. I've just been taking it slow, but I'm shooting for 55.07. That's what the target I'm looking for. Righto, final pass at 55.07. Okay, I got it down to 55.07. You can see that. So we're on the money. Just got to turn it around now and chamfer that edge. Okay, I spun it around, chamfered the edge. I did file a pretty good edge on that one, so when it goes in it should pull straight. Okay, what I'm going to do is put a bit of heat into this just to try and make it swell that little bit. Just put a bit of retaining compound around the bush. Made up a block to go down to the bush so I can use that to push down. Hopefully I can get it to start straight. It's going to take a while. Anyway, bring this back later. See the condensation coming out underneath here.
Yeah.
Probably heated it up. That's it, it's home. One more. That's it, that's home. She's in like Flynn. That bush went in. I did have to give it a bit of a run around with the... I just a little bloody flap this thing in the die grinder. I put the seals in. They fitted beautifully. Sorry I didn't show that, but I had visitors and I was just doing it while we were yakking. But everything fitted beautifully, so I'll ring him up and tell him to come and pick it up. And but there is an O-ring for there. She is complete. I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. I guess he's going to be happy too. Get his tractor going again. I'm really happy with the way that all turned out. And I know I sort of skipped over the few bits at the end, putting them seals and that in. But overall, from never making one before like this, I'm pretty happy with the results. Really happy actually. So just hope it works well for him and he can get his tractor going again now. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, and see you on the next one. Hooray.